But everybody remembers it, right? That's a national title.
And OnlyFans model.
The lights dimmed, the cameras flashed, and the music pulsed through the runway. And then, stepping out in pink silk and white angel wings, was Angel Reese. The moment she appeared, social media erupted. Because this wasn't just another Victoria's Secret model making her debut. This was a professional athlete, the first ever to walk the brand's legendary runway. A basketball star stepping into a world ruled by supermodels. It was bold, it was unexpected, and it instantly divided the internet. For some, it was history, a woman manifesting her dream, proving that beauty comes in all shapes and strengths. For others, it was a stunt, a desperate move by a struggling fashion brand chasing headlines instead of talent. So what really happened that night? Was Angel Reese's runway walk a moment of empowerment, or a calculated PR play? Let's break it all down. It actually started a year earlier. Back in 2024, Angel Reese wasn't on that runway. She was in the audience, watching the Victoria's Secret fashion show as a guest. And like so many moments in her story, she spoke her dream out loud. She posted online, "I'm going to be a Victoria's Secret model one day." Most people probably smiled, scrolled past, and forgot about it. But Angel didn't. Because 1 year later, on October 15th, 2025, she made it happen. The basketball star who once dreamed from the front row was now center stage, walking under the runway lights. And that's where the story splits in two. Her supporters saw something inspirational, the power of manifestation. She said it, she believed it, and she did it. They called it hustle. They called it confidence. They called it history. But her critics, they saw something else. They saw a brand trying to use controversy for clicks. Because, let's be honest, Victoria's Secret needed attention. After dominating pop culture for nearly 2 decades, the Victoria's Secret fashion show was dead. Cancelled after 2019. Criticized for being outdated, unrealistic, and out of touch. For 4 years, the brand disappeared from television, quietly rebranding, trying to find relevance again. Then in 2023, they returned, claiming to embrace a new era of inclusivity. And that's where Angel Reese came in. A name that guaranteed headlines. A figure that sparked debate. A choice that would make the world talk again. So, was this really about Angel's modeling skills, or about a brand using her controversy to sell a new image? That's the question dividing millions. When Angel finally walked that runway, twice in fact, millions tuned in. She wore pink lingerie both times, holding fuzzy accessories, and yes, she had the iconic white angel wings. It was supposed to be symbolic, a new kind of angel for a new generation of women. But online, the reaction was ruthless. People compared her to supermodels like Gigi Hadid and Adriana Lima, legends who had spent years perfecting their craft. And the internet had no mercy. She looked stiff, one person wrote. Like she was walking to the locker room, not the runway. Another viral tweet read, "Just because you can walk doesn't mean you should walk a VS runway." And that was the tone across much of social media. Harsh, dismissive, even cruel. They said she looked nervous, that she dropped an accessory mid-walk. Critics said it proved she wasn't ready. Her fans, however, spun the moment differently, claiming it was playful, intentional, a confident flourish. Because that's what Angel Reese does, she polarizes. To some, she's a symbol of confidence. To others, arrogance personified. There's almost no middle ground. But to understand why people react to her this way, you have to look beyond the runway. Because this wasn't just about modeling. It was about Angel Reese herself, a young woman who's been the center of controversy since her college days. Ever since her rivalry with Caitlin Clark lit up the NCAA finals, Angel has been a magnet for strong opinions. Some loved her fire, her unapologetic attitude, her confidence. Others called it disrespectful, cocky, even classless. The "you can't see me" gesture. The post-game taunts. The constant comparisons. It all turned her into one of the most talked about figures in women's sports. And now, with her team struggling in the WNBA, finishing with one of the league's worst records, critics have fresh ammunition. They say she's distracted, focused more on fame than basketball. Her numbers, 14.7 points, 12.6 rebounds. Solid, sure. But her team, near the bottom. Add in the suspension drama with the Chicago sky, public criticism of teammates, and a reputation for being outspoken, and you start to see why this runway walk hits such a nerve. Because when Angel Reese does anything, it's never just about the thing itself. It's about what she represents. Now let's flip the script, because there's another side to the story that deserves to be heard. Yes, she's polarizing. Yes, her walk wasn't perfect. But what she accomplished, that's historic. Angel Reese became the first professional athlete to walk the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Not just a celebrity guest, not a crossover influencer, a pro athlete. That's a barrier broken. She also landed a full partnership deal with a brand. Not a one-night moment, but a long-term collaboration. And when you look at her business moves, Reebok, Juicy Couture, and now Victoria's Secret, you realize she's building something much bigger than basketball. Angel Reese isn't just playing the game. She's playing the system. She's creating a brand, one that lives beyond the court, one that earns her influence, power, and generational wealth. And that's something even her critics can't ignore. Then, there's the representation aspect, something Victoria's Secret desperately needed to address. For decades, their runway defined beauty with a single image: tall, thin, white, and airbrushed. But this new era is different. A 6 feet 3 inches black female athlete walking that stage in lingerie isn't just fashion, it's symbolism. It tells every young girl watching, you can be strong and still be beautiful. You can be powerful and still be feminine. You can take up space and still belong. That message matters, even if the walk wasn't flawless. Because for millions of women, that moment said, you don't have to shrink yourself to fit someone else's version of beauty. So let's be real, what's the truth here? Victoria's Secret needed buzz. Angel Reese needed expansion. The fashion world needed diversity. And all three got what they wanted. Victoria's Secret got trending headlines and millions of views. Angel got paid and solidified herself as more than an athlete. The industry got to pat itself on the back for being inclusive. Was it authentic empowerment or strategic marketing? Maybe both. But that's the modern world of fame, where business, image, and identity all blur together in the spotlight. At the end of the day, Angel Reese's walk was imperfect. Her movements weren't as polished as seasoned models. Her stage presence wasn't yet legendary. But the symbolism, that was undeniable. Because this wasn't about looking like Gigi Hadid. It was about being Angel Reese. Loud, confident, unapologetic, unbothered by the noise, even when she is the noise. So what do you think? Was Angel Reese's Victoria's Secret debut an inspiring milestone, or a marketing stunt gone too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy deep dives into the drama, power, and stories behind today's biggest sports icons, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Because this is the iconic world